Finding your passion is one of those things that's pressured onto us from a very young age. Parents, teachers, and even doctors have compared us to our peers our entire lives, and it's kind of built up a lot of pressure. My name is Edward, you're watching Lavender Street, and if you're a young person in your 20s who wants to find your passion, I strongly recommend you watch this video all the way through because I will teach you something, I promise. So let's get one thing straight. There are a couple of myths that you guys are probably subscribed to revolving around passion. Number one, passion is inherently good. This is a bit of a modern idea because the root word of passion actually comes from the word pati, which means to suffer. And the second myth is you only have one passion and will only ever have one passion. The phrase isn't follow a passion or follow one passion. No, it's follow your passion. And it kind of puts a lot of pressure on us. Number three, all passions are a viable thing to follow, therefore you should follow it. I'm gonna be honest, man, if your passion is to rob people, don't do that. And the last one is kind of the most important one, is that passions are born inherently inside of us, and it's our job to go and wander the earth every day until we find it, and then we'll unlock our true potential. What a way to set all of us up for disappointment when we actually come to realize that's not how it works. I created a list of probably about 10 to 20 things. Mine had I think 17 on there. And I listed every single thing that I was interested in. Here's a couple. Photography, dance, stand-up comedy, business, YouTube. If we want to pursue a few of these, that's okay, but for now we need to focus on just one. What we need to do is give this interest a little bit of a trial period, which allows us to explore a potential passion. Really what we're trying to accomplish is getting into the habit of doing something. Right now, your only objective is going down the list, every single item on your list, exploring it for a little bit, seeing how you like it, and really thinking about if you want to pursue it. But I gotta be honest, there is one bit of a challenge. There's something on your list, it's on everybody's list actually, that we didn't put there and is a parasite. It's living on our lists. It's called inaction. Inaction is a choice. Just like painting, cooking, and working out, the only difference is inaction is the only one on this list that does not move you forward. If you choose the inaction route, you're gonna feel stagnant and you're gonna feel stuck. This is what happens to a lot of people in today's day and age. Now, let me give you an example of how this passion little trial experiment thing really works out. So the first one was at the young age of 16 when I saved up 2 years of birthday and Christmas money to buy my first camera. When I was young, I started photography as a hobby. And we would just go around town. I would go all around downtown Houston exploring, sneaking into places, sneaking out of places, you know, hood rat stuff with my friends. And it was a good time. But, you know, life does hit. And I do have to find some way to help pay the bills around the house. I had to pay my car note at the time. And I had to pay gas if I was driving to Houston every weekend. Man, it adds up. So I decided to open up my business Instagram account just for photography clients. The only problem was I quickly found out that I hated client work. It turned this very fun and rewarding hobby into a job filled with needy clients. So as far as client work goes, in 2019, I cut all the strings, let the balloon fly away, just move forward. Honestly, I'm a lot happier ever since, and I started doing photography again just for fun with the homies. The other example is a little bit of a weirder one. It wasn't actually on my list, but it very well could have been. So I work at a restaurant, and another restaurant opened up and they stole like half of our crew. All the people above me who had been there for years ended up leaving, and me only being a server for about a month and a half, I got promoted to be a trainer to train all the new guys that would come in. This promotion was really cool. I had a lot of fun with it, but it made me realize how much I love teaching and how much I love learning also on top of that. I realized there is also an opportunity to teach in everything we do, and that's what really caught my eye, the teaching part. Over the next few years, I got promoted again and again on every single job I went to because the number one thing I wanted to do was just be a trainer, and I've had the most fun with that. And yeah, it does pay the bills. It gets the job done. But even this YouTube channel that I'm starting right now, I'm doing it to teach because I genuinely love teaching. Now let's talk about the takeaways. Number 1, inaction is action, but it's absolutely the worst kind and a parasite. Number 2, failure doesn't exist. Failures are only lessons to you, and they will shape your future. Number 3, action is the only thing that will start the corridor principle. And what the corridor principle is, basically you're standing at the very end of a hallway, and if you look all the way down, you can see a bunch of closed doors. All the way on your left, all the way on your right. A million of them. Now, whenever you start walking through the doors, that's whenever you'll be able to peep into the room, just like a school classroom. And then you can peep into the room and you can choose whether or not you want to open that door. But you would have never ever known what was in that door if you never started moving. And that's what that list is about. And number 4, the trial method. The trial method is something that I love and I've implemented in my life in just about every way I can. Basically, it gives you some forgiveness. You don't want to judge yourself on something until you're at least a little bit competent with it. If you've never baked a cake before, I could probably bet that your first cake won't be nearly as good as your 10th cake. That's because through that time, every single cake, you're able to learn something new and implement a new strategy to make the next one better. Whether it's 10 cakes, 5 YouTube videos, 3 TikToks, whatever it is, I say we should all start giving ourselves a little bit more leeway. Stop judging ourselves after 1 or 2 attempts of anything and start giving ourselves a real shot. If you guys enjoyed that video, go ahead and click the subscribe button. And if you want to learn how to make better decisions, click the video on your screen right now and it'll take you right to that.